story time, sit down video, sit down and talk, chat video. And I kind of wanted to go through my high school experiences. Which, who wants to ever relive their high school experiences? I don't know, I just feel like this is something that I wanted to talk about. You guys ask me a lot and not a lot about. I feel like there's a lot of like my high school experiences that I leave out. I don't have the typical high school experience. And I switched high schools a lot, and I wasn't in the military, or my family wasn't in the military, so I feel like I just wanted to do a quick-ish, probably won't be quick, I'm such a talker, I'm such long-winded, video on my high school experience and being a high school dropout of sorts, so stick with it, stay with me here. I want to do it through the years from grade school and middle school because those are a whole other time. So if you guys want to see that, definitely let me know. I have pictures, little props with it for all my grade school photos and my middle school photos. I don't know what happened in high school. My mom just must not want to purchase photos of me in high school because I really don't have any high school portraits except for senior pictures, which they're out there, but I don't have. But my dad actually got me my senior pictures out here in California, and I went to school in Illinois, so it was very bougie for back then. I was very edgy to have beach photos, and everyone else just had like in front of leaves or a tree, like leaning on a tree sort of thing. So let's just start with my freshman year of high school. So my freshman year of high school, I was in a town called Byron, Illinois, which is a small town. Not as small as the high school that I went to later on, but it's a small town. I want to say, I don't know if that's the population. I want to say it's like a 2,000 population. Maybe it's like 3,000. I don't know. It's not a big town. It's probably got bigger now because Byron, of all the small towns in the area in northern Illinois, the farm communities, it definitely was the bigger one. It had the more money, the more rich, because it was a power plant town. We did not have the money, so I was not a bougie person at all. We were not. But it was definitely more bougie for the small town. Still Hicks, but they're the bougier Hicks, if you will. So Byron, Illinois is where I went to high school. And at the time that I was a freshman, my brother was a senior, which was really cool because my brother definitely looked out for me, and he definitely was not popular, but he wasn't like the most popular. He was definitely just well liked. I think he was nominated for homecoming court one year, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, he just was. He played golf. He was on the golf team, and he was very smart. Teachers loved him, and my mom actually worked at the high school as well. She was like a teacher's assistant. She assisted a blind student for a while, and then she was like an assistant, and then she was like a lunchroom monitor. My mom kind of had all the jobs over there, but she liked it because she was on our same schedule. So when we were off, she was off, which was awesome actually. And freshman year, I had gone to school with these kids my entire life. So basically, I went to kindergarten in a town called Dakota, Illinois, which is very nearby, but definitely not bougie. And then first grade through 8th grade, and then my freshman year, I had gone to school with all the kids. So we always went to, we didn't have multiple middle schools, we didn't have multiple high schools, like everyone went to the same place. Mary Morgan Elementary, Byron Junior High, and Byron High School, I think it's all it was called. Byron, Illinois. Stay away from the town. No, but I went to school with them, and again, I definitely wasn't my brother. I was definitely more of the outcast. So, I don't know what it was. I wasn't awkward. I wasn't chubby, really. I was actually really normal weight. I looked good, I thought. I was just, yeah, curvier. I had huge boobs and crazy thick hair. I had really big hair, but beautiful hair. And, yeah, and my mom was the dance coach as well, the high school dance coach team. So, like, I had family, I had cousins that had gone to Byron, football players, a couple years before me. So, I don't know, I just happened to be this, like, outcast for whatever reason. I was a weird kid. I'm a weird adult. Just think of this in high school. Except not so crazy. A little more toned down, but definitely this. And I was eccentric. I liked Michael Jackson and Donny Osmond, and I would go out to California to, like, go to Michael Jackson's trials, like, in the middle of the week, because my dad would spoil me, and my dad lived in California, so he got me, I always had nice things, and my dad always, like, totally spoiled me whenever I saw my dad. Like, he would totally just buy me anything I wanted. I think it's divorce guilt. If you're a child of divorced parents, usually one parent has guilt and they try and like overcompensate. My dad anyways, so would buy me stuff, especially because he didn't know how to like show me love, so he just kind of just like bought me things. I knew he loved me, but he's not an affectionate guy. Anyways, I had nice things. I went out to California. My brother and I, it was common knowledge, we went to California. My brother got a nice car for my dad on his 16th birthday. My dad had just sold his company at this point, so we were coming into money. So yeah, it was definitely just, like I said, it wasn't that my family or anybody was like outcast or we were white trash. It was just more of me, like, and it wasn't even a white trash thing. It was more of just the way I dressed and the way I did my hair. It was like very just weird and out there. But not a lot of friends. I maybe had like 2 friends, but I never really hung out with them. I didn't get invited to parties. I wasn't dating. I wasn't going on dates. I had crushes on teachers. My freshman year, I had the biggest crush on a teacher named Mr. Baker, who was the high school wrestling coach, and he was premature gray, and he was so cute. And he was my English teacher and my gym teacher. Coincidence? I think not. I picked classes specifically scheduled like to be in his classes. We had heart rate monitors, and said I was like, Mr. Baker, I don't know how to get my heart rate monitor on. So I was weird. I was a little Lolita. Well, in the sense that like it was one side of Lolita. Nothing illegal happened with my teachers ever. But like little naughty Trish definitely was like into my teachers so much. It was weird. I don't know. I probably would have been even more traumatized from life if I ever did anything with a teacher. Definitely would not be talking about it. But he was basically my saving grace for staying into school up until that point. I was like, okay, it's fine. Like I had another teacher, that was what was his name? There's another teacher. Oh god, I'm getting like middle school and I think freshman year. I don't know. I didn't love my high school teachers, we'll put it that way. My middle school teachers were actually, all the teachers I was thinking of were like middle school. Like Mr. Riney was middle school, Mr. Hartman was middle school. Like all those people I was thinking of was like middle school. So I didn't love my teachers. It was very, classes were awful. I took biology with a teacher I didn't like. He liked all the pretty popular girls. I took Spanish with a teacher that I didn't like. He was like weird and a soccer coach and like did not like me. Yeah, it just was not a fun year. And it should also be known that I was a good student. I wasn't like my brother where I was like standout student, but I was really good. Like I always got straight A's, maybe like a B in science classes because I was terrible at science. But I always enjoyed school as I was very creative in writing and stuff, and I always, enjoyed it. So it wasn't like I hated school or anything like that. But yeah, freshman year it just was not, it wasn't the best. I was on the dance team. My mom was the dance coach, and I was on the dance team, and that was fun. The senior girls were cool because they knew my brother, and it was fun. And I got to like make up dances, and we performed at the football games, and it like gave me like an outlet because it was my creative. I also tried out for the musical freshman year, and I had gotten a part as like a background, but like it was more of a featured background. Like I was in the girls band. It was a show called Sugar, which is based on the Marilyn Monroe movie Some Like It Hot. Of course, the seniors all get the leads, and then most of the seniors were like background in the band, and then like the freshmen were like background, like not in the band. You know what I mean? They were like in the, and when I say band, the story's about an all-girls band. So there was only like 6 members in the all-girls band. So I got a part in the all-girls band, which was very coveted and very cool. And it was fine. It was fine. I was told that I needed to pull my hair back, even though all the other girls got to wear their hair down because I think it stood out too much. And the director was Margie Barcher, or maybe she was the choreographer. Maybe my Uncle Dan was the director. My Uncle Dan directed a ton of plays back there. All the musicals I was up to at that point. He directed and never put me in the lead ever. Thanks, Uncle Dan. No, just kidding. I don't think they liked me. My Uncle Dan and my Aunt Julie, like, I never felt they liked me that much. And we still don't really talk to them. We never were that close with them. We just lived in the same town, so sometimes we saw them. But I know my mom's not really that close with them, and I just feel like they never liked me for whatever reason. I had a wild imagination too. I used to like make up stories, but like nothing neat. I'd make up stories like, I don't know, more when I was younger. In high school I wasn't really making up stories, but I just kind of have like a vivid imagination. Go figure. I have a very wild imagination. I will say that. I have a weird thing about that. Not that I lie, but it's just like I like to embellish a good story, you know what I'm saying? Not that this is embellished any, because so far I feel like it's kind of boring. But anyways, I'm still only on freshman semester. Holy cow, okay, we need to move this along. So yeah, so that was fun, and that was fine. It was fine. The guy was Michael Snodgrass, who was a senior. His brother Ryan Snodgrass was in my grade. I had such a crush on Ryan Snodgrass, but his brother was so hot. He had this curly hair, like Justin Guarini from American Idol. He was how hot. And so it was like really cool because I got to be around him. Like, not that he noticed me, but it was just cool. But he graduated early, Michael Snodgrass, and my brother graduated early. So graduating early means you don't come back after winter semester. Basically, you're done and you can come back for the ceremony in May, but they don't have to come back to school. So that winter break, my brother moves to California with my dad, or to live with my dad and start college early and like play golf and all that stuff like that. So that's kind of when I had this turning point for me. I became a mess. I went back to school after winter break, you know, to continue my freshman year. I lasted till about spring break. So it just was getting harder again. Semesters were hard for me. Spanish was very hard for me. Science was hard for me. And not necessarily that it was hard. I just did not care. I had checked out. I was like, I don't care. I'm not paying attention in class anymore. I just don't care. Musicals were not fun because it was like kids in my grade now and like other seniors that were like, not that cute, were being in it. It just was not fun anymore. And I was just like, I'm over this. Like, I hate it. And anything I've done in life, even as an adult, if I hate it, I just don't do it. Like, it's a bad way to be, but that's just me. So I went on to spring break. We visited my brother, went to Disneyland and SeaWorld. My dad took me to Hollywood. I was experiencing all these awesome things. I went to an acting class at this place called BB's Kids, which turned out to be a scam, but it was fun anyways because I got to be around kids who were living in LA and becoming actors. They were like extras on Lizzie McGuire, and it was like really, really cool. And I was like, this is where I need to be. And I was talking to my mom. My mom's such an encourager of my dreams. I went, Mom, this is where I need to be. I feel this is me out here. And she was, I know, me too. But my mom had my sister who has a different dad, and her dad lived in Illinois, in Byron, so we could not move. That was not a question. So we cannot move as a family because my half-sister Callie, who I consider my full sister, but my half-sister Callie technically had her dad back in Illinois, so she could not leave the state. My mom also had a job back there. My mom was also married. That's a whole other story. My mom was married again back there, so it wasn't like we were going to move out as a family, which I wanted. But my mom, being the encourager of dreams that she is, getting so many texts now. Being the encourager of dreams that she is, you know, I was just like, can I just stay out here with my dad? And she's like, oh, I don't know, like, oh, I don't know. So I somehow convinced my mom to let me move out with my dad. My mom, her story is that I asked to only move out there for the rest of the school year, spend the summer, and I'd be coming back. That's not what we had talked about. And then my dad was always wanting me to move out with him. Also suspicious, so I was like, this is all weird. So I moved out with my dad, and like I said, miracle. My dad and his wife, I should say. That's a very crucial part of this story. My dad and his wife, so literally I have like a quarter left of my freshman year. So I got enrolled into Marietta Valley High School, which is Marietta, California. It's kind of in the Inland Empire, not so bougie. It's okay. It's definitely just like a suburb, like suburbia. California, it's not LA, it's not San Diego, it's like suburbia. And my dad had a huge house, nice, we were very upscale, you would say, because we lived in a gated community and had a big nice house and all that stuff. So I started enrolling in school. It was such a culture shock for me. All I knew was like the hills, and my first day of school I remember thinking everyone was like the hills, like the girls who showed me around because they had to, because they were appointed by, you know, the office or whatever, just to show me around. They were just in their juicy couture sweats with little Ugg boots and like long pretty blonde hair and tan skin and perfect teeth. So like the pretty girls of my school, the pretty popular girls of Byron, they couldn't even shine these girls' shoes. I mean, they couldn't even, the pretty popular girls of Byron still wore like volleyball shorts, and, you know, like bougie was that they got to tan at a tanning bed. These girls spray tanned, acrylics, had the juicy sweats, had designer bags, had boyfriends, they would make out with them. Like, it was just a whole, like, convertibles and skipping school and bringing in and out onto the thing. So it was just like this whole other lifestyle. And I was such a culture shock because at this point, I think I wore like denim overalls like the first day I went. Like, what? Like, I thought that was a cool thing. Felt very out of place, needless to say. I still had my frizzy little hair because I didn't have a flat iron. I didn't know what flat irons were back then. Yes, there was a time when flat irons were like not a thing. And so, yeah, I just definitely did not fit in. All the classes were in trailers. Like, California has schools that are outside, and a lot of the times classes are in trailers, which is kind of how my college was. There was some, like, actual, like, campus rooms, but most of it was in trailers. It's, like, really weird. It's, like, a common thing. It's not like they were, like, under construction. Like, they just have them in trailers. It's bizarre. It was confusing. It was huge. It was a huge school. I went from a school, I think my class had like 100 kids in it, to the class of my freshman class out in Marietta, I think had like 3,000 kids or something, or 2,000 kids, like something crazy. So like the whole school had just like so many kids. It was a lot. Just a lot. And I just, you know, it was hard. It was a hard adjustment. Second day I go back, no one wants to help me. Those girls definitely don't want anything to talk to me that showed me around the first day. I can't make friends. Nobody wants to talk to me. Everyone thinks I look weird. Everyone thinks I look ugly. I'm literally the ugly girl now. I'm the ugly fat girl, as opposed to in Illinois, I was like just, you know, normal. I was like average. I went from being a 5 to a 0 basically. And it was just really hard, and I would get really depressed. My brother would pick me up from school. We'd get donuts and eat them all. It was super, the classes were super different. They weren't hard. I will say this about Byron, like, their education, or the education that they gave me while I was my freshman year, was so above and beyond what I was getting, what we were in California. Like stuff we were studying out here on my second day was something I did in middle school. So it wasn't hard, it was just very different. They expected like a whole different thing. Like in Illinois, in the Midwest, it's all about projects and like poster board. Out here it was all like PowerPoint and stuff on the computer, and it was just a whole different thing. Third day comes around. Oh gosh, third day at Marietta was the worst day of my life at any school. I think mean people. Book bag was stolen. Cell phone was stolen. My hair was cut. Stuff was thrown at me in my child development class. Just horrible names. Like teachers didn't say anything. Teachers didn't care. It just was awful. Like just so mean. Like mean girls, like, and boys, and just, it was mean. Biggest insults back in Illinois were my weight, even though there was people, Midwest is known for big people, and there was tons of people in my grade that were way bigger than me, girls that were twice my size. Like, I was definitely on the lower end of weight back in the day. So, freshman year, I probably was 120 pounds, and that's because I had big boobs. So I was big I wasn't big at all, by any means. So they would say, oh, Trisha has more rolls in a bakery, and they would make fun of my weight. And they did out in California as well, but it was so much more than that. It was how I dressed, how my teeth looked. And I've always had great teeth, can I just say. I've always had really nice teeth, but they'd call me like, oh, baby teeth. And so I'm like, is this a thing? Like on my third day, teachers wouldn't say anything, I would complain. And I remember complaining to a teacher. And they're like, you're a big girl, like, deal with it. Then I went to, like, the principal's office. He's like, you cannot come in here to tell me about these problems. Like, I had no one to talk to. I cried and cried and cried when I got home. I said, Dad, this is not working. I don't like it. Like, I don't know what to do. I just want to move back. And never would I have ever said that before, that I just want to move back. But it was something I was familiar with. And I was like, let me just move back. My dad said, why don't we try homeschooling? So we did online homeschooling, which was very hard. I enrolled in a Catholic homeschooling, which is how I got my dad to agree to that. Or I think it's why he brought it up in the first place. Seton High School, which is a Catholic online school. I don't know if it's still around. I don't even know if it's like a legit school. But I enrolled in that. I got books. And I was doing it through the summer. My dad was like, I just want to graduate early and like get done this summer. So I was like hardcore hitting the books. I just want to like get this all done. So hard. Online schooling and homeschooling is very difficult. You have to teach yourself everything. There's no one to ask questions. There's no creative outlets. Like, you can't do projects that look good, which is what I excelled in, was projects and like presentations, because I'm a very good speaker and I'm very good at like creating like poster boards and stuff like that. Like, that was my forte. No, these were all papers, all tests, and that's something I did not excel in. It was so hard. My brother ended up helping me pass Spanish. A couple other classes I failed. Just, it was really hard. So this was my summer of freshman between sophomore year. I was working on it. It was really hard. My dad enticed me to stay in it by offering to get me acting classes full time at that place up in Santa Monica, the BB's Kids. So that was like my saving grace. If I passed my classes, I got to keep going with it. So I worked really hard. I loved BB's Kids. I went the whole summer. We had a final showcase for agents and managers, if that was even legit, and it went really well and it was really fun. I did not get any agent or manager from it, and it was really sad and devastating. I just was like, wow, I didn't get an agent or manager from that. I'm over. This is done. I guess I'm not as cute as the other people in my class, and it just didn't work out for me. And my dad wasn't too gung-ho with like re-enlisting me in that, because it was a long drive. It's about a 2-hour drive from where we lived, and it just, my dad, I don't think was gonna have it, because he didn't really like think I was gonna be an actress or anything. I think he did it to appease me, you know what I mean? So those stopped. Also during the summer, I was having a really tough time with my stepmom and adjusting to her and her rules. Back home with my mom, I never once had to do chores. She did all my laundry. I could just hang and sit around comfortably watching TV, eating snacks, and no one would tell me anything. My stepmom was trying to be mom. My stepmom has no kids, so she's trying to be mom now. She's trying to be my mom. Telling me I had chores to do. I have to fold towels for everyone in the house. I have to, and we had a maid, by the way, but I still had to clean. I had to clean, I had to do chores, I had to fold towels. If I wasn't doing anything, she was, oh, can you do this? Can you do that? Like, oh, come here and help me with this. Like, vacuum, do something besides just sitting on your butt sort of thing. So I was like, I wouldn't say that's an abuse by any means, but I just wasn't used to it. It wasn't what my mom brought me up for the past 15 years, you know. I also was 15. I turned 15 in May, so I was wanting to get my driver's permit and my license, and my dad said, no, not until you pass your classes. Again, something that probably a normal parent would say, but my mom, I don't know if she spoiled me, but she was just very lenient with me and very just, I don't know. My mom's approach was better in the sense that I didn't feel pressure, like, do this and you'll get this. My mom just kind of like made things easy for me, and so I was able to just focus naturally on other things. And even my work ethic to this day, I like to just be lazy. Like, I'm a lazy person, but when I need to get work done and like shit done, like I get it done. Like I'm very like a procrastinator. I'm very like have to be in a zone, and but I also like to just chill and relax and be lazy. And my stepmom did not want me to be lazy. She was weird. She wouldn't let me lock my doors. Like, she took the locks out of my bedroom. I couldn't lock my bedroom door. She would just come in to my room at times, or just volunteer to have people stay in my room, like her parents or like her nieces or something, or like cousins or something come just staying in my room, or just give my clothes away. Stuff would go missing out of my room, perfumes, and this was a time, again, I had a very vivid imagination, so I think my dad thought I was making stuff up, and even my mom, I don't know if anyone believed me, but stuff would go missing. But again, it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf. If you make stuff up, but I never did about my family. I think when it comes to family, real life, human relationships and emotions, I would lie more about stuff of like, oh, my dad's a producer, or I was an extra in a movie when I was 5 in Home Alone, or something like that kind of stupid shit. It was never stuff that could like affect someone's life, especially with my stepmom, my dad, my mom, all this stuff, because it got very legal in a second. I'll tell you, it all got very legal. So, yeah, so stuff would go missing. Like, back when I was 15, my dad stopped spoiling me when I came out. Like, he wasn't buying me stuff all the time. Like, I had to save money, and, like, if I got birthday money, like, I spent on a Victoria's Secret perfume that went missing days later. Like, lipstick would be used, and it just was very weird. Dressing, they said my skirts were too short, which they weren't. When I was 15, I was still self-conscious about my body, and so I wore Abercrombie skirts, but then I wore like a sweatshirt with them. Like, it was just, I wasn't, so they're like, you can't dress like that. Like, it started to be weird. Again, more my stepmom, but we'd have family meetings, and I'm like, what is this? What is this? And it would always be like an attack on me, and like, they left me out of things. Like, they would go do stuff and not involve me. It just wasn't, again, what I was used to. So, at the same time, my mom, I guess my dad had asked my mom for child support now since he had me. So my mom's like, you need to come back here. So this was a very push-pull. Like, my dad's pulling me one way and my mom's pulling the other. So my mom's playing into me not liking my stepmom and using that against my dad. My dad's very like, it's a better lifestyle for her out here. So it was very push and pull. By the end of the day, or at the end of the day, I was just, with the homeschooling, the stepmom, just all this adjustment, this change, this culture shock. I like, you know what, let me just go home to my mom. And it really upset my dad and my stepmom. It was scary. I actually thought my stepmom was gonna like try and come kill me before I could go home. It was really scary. I would like not sleep. I'd be scared of it. I don't know if that's like, again, that's like, it's not like it's a legit fear, but it was a legit fear for me. Not that I was saying she's like dangerous or abusive, but I was a little scared. But I'm still paranoid about stuff like that. So I go home then right before school starts for the sophomore year, or when school would start. I asked my dad, hey, can you still let me stay in this seat in school? Because I did not want to come back as a failure. It was like, gosh, I moved to California. I'm saying, oh, I'm going to go be an actress. Bye, bitches. Like, I'm 15 years old, going to be a star. See ya. And I was actually 14 when I moved out. So I didn't want to go back and be a failure. And they still lived in Byron. So I was like, oh, let me just be homeschooled. So my dad agreed to keep paying for my homeschooling because it was a Catholic school after all. So basically how this is where I dropped out, in a sense. Well, you'll see, there's a couple dropouts. So, I did not like homeschooling. I did not like it. It was hard. It was stupid. I was learning stupid things. Spanish, math was impossible for me. They were like at a whole other level. They were like an AP senior, like calculus. Like, it was just something that I could not, I'd never even had like the basics, like steps to get to know this. And so it was so hard. So basically, more or less, I quit right then. I just stopped going. Like, I had my dad order textbooks to me, and he would be paying for it. And he just never really checked up for the longest time. And so, you know, a semester, you know, first quarter comes around, I say, Dad, I'm doing good. Okay, cool, thanks, good job. And then the semester came out, the second one, when winter break came on sophomore year. And my dad was like, hey, like, how's it going? I'm like, really good. He's like, hey, can you send me like your report card? I said, oh, they don't get those in homeschooling. That's like, okay. It wasn't until we had to start back my second semester of my sophomore year that the school was like, hey, she hasn't turned in any assignments, like, here's a refund, like, stop paying. And my dad's like, what? So it came out that I basically did not go to school for a full semester of my sophomore year. Yeah. So I just dropped out. My dad was pissed. My mom kind of thought it was clever, even though it's illegal to not have your kid in school, because I was not 16 at the time, which was the legal age of dropping out of school in Illinois, with the parents' permission. So I was like, it's kind of funny, whatever. She's like, well, you'll be 16 in a semester, just go back to school and you'll be 16 and then you can drop out. My mom encouraged it because I'll have to go through a middle school video when I have pictures of that. Middle school was another situation of just mean girls, like really mean, like really, where she could see why I wanted to drop out. It was a lot of name calling, a lot of stuff being stolen, just really bad bullying, where they would have the whole school against me, and that sucked. And my mom would have to come in so many times, and the principal would do very little. So it was really bad. I got bullied a lot in middle school, actually. Like, I tried to not make it seem like I did, but I did. Everything. Gym class running, people would make fun of my thighs, or the chafing, or that I couldn't do sit-ups, or that I couldn't pass the presidential fitness test. Like, it was crazy, and I was not, again, not the most unfit, ugliest person in the world. It was just a weird thing. And I said, Mom, I cannot go another semester at Byron. Like, I can't. Like, it's embarrassing. I'm supposed to be out because I don't know if it was MySpace or, like, AIM, like the instant messenger, where I was just like, loving life, I'm so skinny out here, I'm so pretty out here, like I was like saying to my friends, and then I would get back and my mom was still back there, so I was like building up, you know, all this stuff, like, oh, I'm going on an audition, even if I wasn't. So I don't want to come back as like this failure, you know what I mean? That's even worse than just being stuck back there. I was like, oh, I tried it, you failed, you're back. So we figured out, my mom's like, you know what, let's just move town. So we moved to another town 30 minutes away, called Pecatonica, Illinois, which is very much like Dakota, where I went to kindergarten. It's very, Pecatonica's Indian. It's very Indian towns. Pecatonica, Winnebago, you can see, it's like a very Dakota. It's all very Indians, Native Americans. No stoplights, no fast food, no movie theater, just one street. Very small. Graduating class was about 40 people, I think. So I go there my second half of my sophomore year. They're so hillbilly, so hickish. So I go from being a 5 at Byron to a 0 at Marietta to a 15 plus at Pecatonica. I mean, the popular girls were farmers. They wore the overalls. That was the popular girls. So at this point, I had been in California. I got some snazzy clothes. I got a Juicy Couture tracksuit, so I was like the Marietta bitch, right? I was carrying a purse now and not a backpack, because that's what the girls in California did. Yeah, I was still making up stories. I remember one story I made up is that my dad had got me a sidekick, with those cool T-Mobile sidekicks that Paris Hilton had. But I'm like, oh, but I can't bring it to school because it's too expensive. But everyone thought that was cool. Again, I wasn't too well received, but I was definitely more of an enigma there, if you will. Very like, ooh, she's from California, because I had said that I had moved from California. Unbeknownst to them that I was in Byron most of my life. But I had just moved to California. That's where I transferred from. So that's why I was going with my California story. So they thought it was very cool, very unique, but very different. So they all, even the teachers, you know, very farmerish, farmeresque. There was one, Mr. Donaldson, who like was in charge of like the tractor club or something, that did not like me. So he was like telling kids to not like me, and they would all go gang up on me and kind of make fun of me. They kind of called me Paris Hilton because the simple life was a thing. That was Paris Hilton back in this hick town. And I liked it. I liked being referred to as a Paris Hilton type to me, because I loved the simple life and I loved the glamorous life. I was like, okay, I'll take this. So again, not making me popular, but at least it wasn't making me like this like ugh, gross girl that don't even associate with. It was more like, she's kind of weird. She's from California. We don't like them Californians around here, sort of thing. Snobby and pretentious, I guess they thought I was. So I kind of liked it. It was a better image for me that I liked. I was very nice. The kids were not quite as mean girls at first. It wasn't until like this schools where I started getting interest from guys. There was a guy named Dan Clark who was a year older than me, who was tall and kind of cute for a farmer. They would say she's hot, and like it was very cool to be referred to that, because I was not referred to as a hot girl ever before. So it's cool. It was like a fresh start. But like I said, once guys kind of started noticing me, like a lot of the girls started getting a little more jealous, especially like the older girls. For some reason, the senior girls, there's always girls in my class that always hated me, but the older girls, for some reason, did not like me. And their tactics were a little a little weirder, their bullying, if you will. They were ones to make fun of like what I ate. Or if I sat alone at lunch, like it was the worst thing in the world, and they would like make fun of me, and teachers would pull me inside and be like, "Are you okay? We saw you eating alone." And so like a teacher would come sit by me, and everyone would make fun of me, a female teacher, and everyone would make fun of me, and it was a weirder bullying. Like they bullied me for stuff that was weird, like that I had like a purse, like it was a weird bullying, or that I had acrylic nails, or so again I wasn't invited anywhere. People never sat by me. If someone did, people would be like, "Why are you talking to her?" Like that kind of bullying. It was weird. It was weird bullying. The number one thing I was bullied for in Pecatonica was my voice, my talking and my high pitchedness and the speed of my voice. People thought I was like a freak. I remember they said that I was a form of like a retardation. I think that was like a rumor that I was retarded. Another rumor was that I had like sex with everybody. It was weird. It was a whole different form of bullying. It was just very strange, and no one wanted to be my partner in like classes, and it was very weird. And teachers didn't like me either there, so it was very like everyone had like their clique, and this was like a cult town. I don't know. There was 2 teachers that were my saving grace here. Mr. Hartz, who was my like Western Civ sociology teacher. Oh, Mr. Schmidt. He liked me. He was the hot teacher. But my personal favorite hot teacher was my Mr. Dunn, which it was my junior biology teacher. He was so yummy. So, anyways, I survived sophomore year. Went out to California for the summer. Came back. Junior year was starting, and junior year. So he was my junior year biology teacher, and it was great. So with this, I got made fun of a lot for my fondness for teachers. But it wasn't sexual. Like I never made it like a sexual. Obviously, I was not comfortable with my sexuality when I was, what was I, 16 at this point. So it was more like calling me a suck up. And they spread vicious rumors at this school, like really crazy ones I would hear about myself. And just, this was maybe the first time of bullying where like people wanted me to kill myself, sort of thing. And they were weird. They were weird stuff that like I wouldn't like, that I was in a cult, that I killed someone, that I killed my father, that my father tried to kill me, like I had sex with a teacher, that just stuff that could be really damaging was going around. And it was this whole new form of bullying where it was like serious. It wasn't just like stealing stuff or throwing stuff in your hair or picking, you know. It was crazy accusations that my mom was a slut, that my mom aborted a child, which was like a big thing. I remember that. Like it was weird stuff. I said, "Mom, I gotta quit school. Like, will you please sign for me to quit school?" So my mom and I had talked seriously so long about it. My mom was like, "If you want to quit, yeah, let's go in tomorrow and quit." So I go in to withdrawal from school, and my mom's backing me up because she knew because it's a very small town. And it was kind of dangerous. People would show up. This is a hunting town. They had shotguns. Like, it was very dangerous. So I went in and quit school. I'm like, I'm just going to be a dropout. Like, that's just what it is. I'm just going to go work. My idea at this time was when I was 18, I was going to be a stripper. Like, I already had this kind of in my mind that I wanted to be a stripper because there was a strip club in Rockford, Illinois, which is like a half hour, called 3rd Street Station, I think, or Street Station, I don't know, something. That was like a strip club, and I was like, you know what, I knew a girl who went there. I said, maybe that's just what I'm gonna do. And my mom's like, okay, you know, because like Anna Nicole said she was a stripper. I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna become a stripper. My mom's like, I don't blame you, kind of thing. Again, just being encouraging, not maybe the best idea, but whatever. So then my junior year, there was a Pecatonica Playhouse because we were still living in Peck, and I went to see like what it was all about. I wanted to audition for a play, and they were like, great, cool, yes, come audition. Then like, you just have to be enrolled in Pecatonica High School. I was like, shit, I'm not enrolled. Okay. So at this point, I'm only out of school for like a week. Oh, no, maybe it was a couple weeks. So basically, I just went back, and the principal's like, yeah, whatever, come back. Like, it wasn't even an issue. Like, it wasn't even a thing. It was like common that people dropped out. They either got pregnant or married or got jobs. Like, it wasn't uncommon for people to drop out, really. So, yeah, I just went back, and I did the play, and it was really fun. I got to be, like, this Marilyn Monroe character. It's called Swing Fever, I think. And so I got to be, like, this Hollywood starlet from California in this, like, small town, and her name was Penny Palmer, and everyone's like, oh, my God, Penny Palmer. And there was a redhead named Josh in the play who was super hot, in my opinion, and I just kind of stayed with it because he was, the there was a rumor that I posed naked for Playboy even when I was 16. He's like, we heard you pose naked for Playboy. That's so hot. You want to take some more pictures of you? So at this point, I liked the sexual attention because like I had never gotten it at this point. I'm like playing with like an empty Mac box. I had never got the sexual attention before. So I kind of liked it. And I played into it. And I was this is when I got onto my like sex kit and stuff. So even with my teacher that I liked, I wasn't becoming sexual because there was already like a weird rumor or whatever. It was just more of like I was comfortable in my body, and so I tried out for cheerleading, and I made the cheerleading squad. And so it kind of, at this point I'm there now, it's like about a year that I'm there. They're kind of warming up to me. I'm becoming one of the older ones because it's junior year going into senior year, and senior year just seemed like forever to get there. And then finally the first day of my senior year of high school, I was like, I'm almost done, and I enrolled in a afternoon like class course where we went to another high school and took like a theater class there, and it was so much better because I got to go away from that school for a little while, and it was great. My mom had got me a Jeep Cherokee. My dad did not give me a bougie car. Like, he got my brother because, I don't know, they were in this like weird legal thing right now where my mom wanted more money because my dad had just sold his company, so it was very a trying time for me, just with all of that, the bowling and then the legal stuff, and I was going to court and testifying against my dad for who knows what. He didn't do anything wrong. It was crazy. My mom ended up getting like some sort of settlement or something. I don't even know. I didn't know any of this was actually going on, to be honest. I just knew my dad was not spoiling me anymore and getting me a car, and I thought it was very unfair treatment because he got my brother a car. And I was like, what is happening? Because my dad had always told me he was going to get me like a Beetle Bug. And they even said later on they thought about getting me a BMW for my 16th birthday, but then my mom took him to court, and she's this evil one. But anyways, my mom got me a $2,000 Jeep Cherokee, so thank you, Mom, for that. So the car and the theater class at a different school definitely helped me my senior year of high school. Senior year of high school was actually probably the best year of my high school. I was the oldest, I was in the older crowd at the school. I still saw Mr. Dunn every day, so he was very cool. I was a cheerleader. I actually got nominated for Homecoming Queen and won Homecoming Queen, which is crazy because like I still wasn't invited to parties. I had gone to a concert with a couple girls that were kind of popular. They were cheerleaders and during that summer, so I kind of was making more of an effort, kind of putting myself out there more. A lot of girls still didn't like me, which I think is why I ended up winning Homecoming Queen, because a lot of the mean girls and popular girls were nominated, and nobody wanted them to win. They're like, we don't want any popular girls to win, so let's vote for Church, because I was like the people's people, you know what I mean? The people's queen. I wasn't Miss Popular. I wasn't like snotty and mean to everyone. I was nice. I was different. I was weird. My fast talking ended up becoming an asset to me. Everyone's like, have Trish read, and so I would read, because after we finished a chapter, we got to leave. Helicopters passing. So it's so cool. Helicopters. So yeah, so senior year ended up being not too bad. I had to take 2 gym classes senior year, so I got skinny, but also because I wasn't taking gym classes before. And for those of you curious as to how I kind of transitioned or how I got to, because I never fell behind, even though I took quite a bit of time off of school. I was like out of school for a while. Pagatonica was the furthest behind educational wise for schooling. So when I was testing way above what my grade was already at anyways. So they're kind of just like, oh, whatever, I'll just take some extra classes. Like the mandatory classes you had to take, I just had to take more mandatory ones my junior year and senior year. So I had to make up for like, you have to take gym class like every year, and since I missed like sophomore year or something and it wasn't like recorded as me having PE, I had to take 2 my senior year, which wasn't a big deal. Senior year, great. High school graduation comes around. This is the best story ever. This is validation. This is small town girl. High school graduation comes around. I had turned 18 a couple weeks before graduating, and the ceremony happens. My dad flew back from California that day, right? Because up to that point, the day I turned 18, I was shipping things to my dad's house. I'm like, I'm going back to California. I'm going back to California. Shipping boxes to my dad's house. It was a very, my mom and my sister and I were not close at this time. My mom had a boyfriend who, she was working at a country club in Freeport. She had a boyfriend who was like the manager, and yeah, I had some this is a whole other video, and I really kind of don't want to get into this because I'm trying to keep this kind of lighthearted, but it was not a safe environment for a 17-year-old to be in. Again, because I have an imagination, I think when I talked about this stuff, like, I think people thought I was made up, so I learned to just zip my lip, and I did not tell my mom a lot of stuff, and my mom still doesn't know about a lot of stuff to this day. I don't necessarily blame her, because when I first started saying stuff, it was very little things, like, it was very little things that weren't sexual, just like, Trish, stop, because I was never a fan of her husbands. She's been married a couple times up to this point. I was never a fan of them, and that was known. But I just had some traumatizing, I block it out. I block a lot of this out. I don't talk about it because a lot of this stuff has been blocked out, where even when I go to therapy, I don't know a lot of the stuff that's happened because I block a lot of it out, but I can remember certain things. And so my senior year, my mom and I barely talked to each other. I think that's why I made more of an attempt to be more social with people, because I did not like being at home. My mom had turned my sister against me. She didn't like me. My sister thought I was just like, I don't know. It was not good. Nobody liked me. I felt it when I got the crowning, when I got homecoming queen at the lip sync bonfire thing, at the game. Like, no one even cared. My mom did come to the ceremony and took pictures, but it wasn't a big thing. Like, we were always close, where if something big happened, we celebrated. My mom did not care. She's like, I'm busy, I got stuff to do. Great, that's nice, bye. And she didn't even, like, it was just, it was really hard. It was very hard. Nobody liked me around. People would let me know, my family would let me know they did not want me around. So I was shipping stuff out to California. They had actually moved back to Byron at the last couple weeks before I graduated, because my sister wanted to go back there because she had her friends there. And yeah, so I was driving stick shift. My mom's, because my Jeep broke down, so I was driving stick shift back to senior year. I was shipping stuff out to my dad's. Said, F it, we're moving, like, I'm going to ship my stuff out. So I was shipping boxes out to my dad's. Day of graduation, I'm the very first person to get my actual diploma. Obviously, they go in alphabetical order, but you have to go actually pick up your actual diploma after. I run to Mrs. Olaf, which was, Mrs. Olaf, isn't that funny? There's a snowman named Olaf, that's funny. I ran to Mrs. Olaf, who was our cheerleading coach, and she had all the diplomas. I got the paper because I was the first one to get my diploma, and I shook her hand. I said, peace out, bitches, and left. I did not say bye to nobody. Not even Mr. Dunn, which I kind of regret, because Mr. Dunn was such a cool teacher, but I was also kind of like, I don't know, I'm kind of embarrassed, because I think I was like maybe sexually into him towards the end, so I kind of was like, eh. I did say bye to Mr. Hartz. He retired a couple of years later. But yeah, I just bolted. I didn't even say bye to my mom or my sister, and my mom and my sister told me later they were really sad. Like, they cried because I just didn't say bye. I just left. With my dad and my stepmom, and they just had a rental car and we went straight to the airport. And I never looked back. The last time I was back in Illinois was when my grandmother died a year and a half ago. And we stayed in Freeport, Illinois, which is where I did my vocational classes my senior year. I did go to my Pecatonica High School to visit, and it was weird. It was such a surreal experience because I had not gone back for 7 years. I graduated in 2006, so almost, oh wow, next year's gonna be my 10-year high school reunion, and I'm not going back for it. To be honest, going back, I just was like, this is not me anymore. That person, I don't even know. High school Trish, no idea who she is. No idea. In fact, saying this story now, it all comes back to me very vividly. I have very clear recollections of high school. But it's almost as if I am just telling you a story of someone else's life, because I don't know. And I can say the same thing from 18 to 22 out here in LA, or 22 to 24. 18 to 24, really, it does not feel like my life. But that specifically, because it's a whole different culture, it's not me. I don't even know. It's not my life. And some people may think that's sad, but I think it's, I don't at all. I love my life, and I love who I am now. I love my lifestyle. I love California. I love that I'm independent and don't have to rely on parents to help me with stuff and tell me what I can and can't do and what I can't buy. And I love being independent, and it's a really great feeling. So the moral of the story is, if you do not like high school, you hate your life, you hate your parents, you're not getting along with them, like, it's all so temporary, and I swear to you, in just a matter of years, it'll feel like it's not even your life anymore, which is great. And if you love high school and you're just relishing in it, that's awesome. Make the most of it while you can. But I just know from looking at people now that were popular kids in school, their lives don't look that glamorous, and not everyone needs a glamorous life, but I get a ton of Facebook messages, YouTube messages, tweets, Instagrams, saying, I went to high school with you. Like, I knew you went. Hey, I'm coming to LA. Can I hang out with you? Hey, can I borrow money? Like, I get, or hey, you're so famous now. Like, it's so funny. And it's so rewarding. And I don't respond because I'm like, that's right. Oh, you bitches. That includes the popular girls at Byron High School, including those popular girls for the 3 days I went to Marietta Valley High School, including Pecatonica people who did not give me the time of day, including teachers who did not give me the time of day, who did not stand up for me. It is the most rewarding thing to have people come back to your life and say, whoa, Trisha, so impressed. Oh my gosh, you got famous. By the way, in Pecatonica High School yearbook, I was voted most likely to be famous, so YouTube famous. Yeah. So those are that's my high school experience, my dropout story. High school is such a small blip on the scale of life. The smallest blip, like smaller than my pinky nail. So small. I will tell you, I don't even think about it. The only times I do is sometimes I have nightmares where I'm stuck in high school, where I had this apartment and I had to go back to go be in high school. It's weird. I have those a lot, where I feel like I have to go back and I'm having recurrent dreams in high school. It's the most bizarre thing ever. But I don't think about it that often. I'll get messages from, you know, the popular guy in school or something. I'm just like, that bitch, I don't have anything to say to you. I read it, I'll let it go. Like, I don't think about it, I don't dwell on it. But yeah, that's my high school experience. And high school is not the real world. So if you're in high school and you're just like, ugh, it's not the real world. Bullying has gotten to this whole other extreme now. I think it's because you guys have social media. Oh my god, I say this all the time. If I had social media when I was in high school, I would be crucified, because who knows what I'd be posting on YouTube and MySpace. I would be, and to get harassment outside of school, at least when I went home and I had my popcorn and my Rice Krispies and I'm laying on the couch, that was like my safe zone. Like, I had love. My mom gave me a loving home for the most part, and my brother, and even if I had no one, it was like my safe zone, and I could pretend, I would see in the mirror and pretend I was Selena or something, you know what I mean? Like, it was my safe zone. So if you don't have that, like if you go home and you're on Instagram and people are bullying you on there, that's tough. And I'm glad I'm not a teenager in today's world, but just know it all does get better, and we all grow up and we all mature. Everyone does. Those mean girls will. You'll still experience mean girls later on in life, but those are just more easy to be like, bye, Felicia. You don't have to like see them every day, you know? So hang in there if you love high school, and if you hate high school. And if you love high school, that's great. You should make the most of your high school experience. I know once I did my senior year and tried to put myself out there a little more, it got a little better. Did I love it? No, but it was tolerable. So anyways, I love you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the storytime video. I know it was probably so long. I'm so sorry. I'm so long-winded. Definitely let me know if you want to see more. I went to college for a semester. Kind of like a full semester, because I quit and then I came back and then I quit. And I have middle school stories and all that stuff. So definitely let me know if you want to see more of those. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys made it through this video. Let me know in the comments below if you made it all the way through. But honestly, guys, you guys mean the world to me, and if nothing else, I hope that I'm living proof that you can live a fabulous, wonderful, happy life after high school, because I really do love my life, and yeah, high school, what? Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. As always, I want to say hi to Miranda, and until next time, here are my kisses for my little baby fishies. Mwah! Bye, guys.